All right. Again, good afternoon. My name is Theo Moody. I'm a allied health and public service careers academic advisor here at College of the Mainland, and I'm also a part of the multicultural team and the Juneteenth committee. And we are excited that you all have come out again to celebrate with us our 2018 Juneteenth program. It is always a delight to look out into the crowd and see all our community members coming out to support every year our Juneteenth. So please give you, I see some of the Greater Barbers Chapel, Sam's ministry out here. Look at them. All the time, y'all. Appreciate y'all coming out and supporting us. And I also see Miss Adrian Bell here, running for U.S. Congress, coming on out to support. We have our student summer program in the back up there, always in the house during the summer and supporting. Go ahead on, make some noise. We see you. And then, of course, we always have our minority male excellence group here too, representing too, and Dr. Stanfield will obviously acknowledge them also. Again, we put together a program this afternoon that we hope that you all will enjoy, with the theme of Still I Rise, and we look forward to what the program entails. So, to keep things moving, I am the master of ceremony, and I'm going to get this thing started by simply bringing up Dr. Stanfield, my Vice President of Student Services. If she would please come, and she's off to the side there. Please welcome Dr. Stanfield.
Oh, good afternoon. Welcome to College of the Mainland. On behalf of our president, Dr. Warren Nichols, our administration, and the Board of Trustees, it is just an honor and a privilege to welcome you all to our college, to your college. And I want to ask first, is this anyone's first time to be on campus? Would you raise your hand? You don't have to stand up. It's not like to introduce. Well, good. We've got a newcomer here. Thank you for coming. Let's give her a hand. We hope that you learn a little bit more about our campus and our college and all the things that we're doing for our community, and you'll come back and you'll tell your friends and your children and your grandkids and whoever else would like to come to college here at College of the Mainland. I want to recognize a few other administrators in the room. We have our Vice President for Fiscal Affairs, Dr. Clint Burton, is here. And also Michael McGee, he is our Executive Director for HR. So we're happy to have them take some time out of their day. And I want to acknowledge my assistant, Leanne Doughton, who's here. Well, gosh, I have a lot of comments. Hopefully this won't take too long. But, thinking about what we're celebrating today, Juneteenth, this is an important day for us to remember, for recognizing that it celebrates the ending of slavery in the United States, and that all Americans are called and honored to celebrate, because there's so many accomplishments that our African community has contributed to our United States, and we need to recognize that. And we're so fortunate at College of the Mainland because we have this opportunity to do so. So as much as it marks the day to remember the celebration that we all recognize, the ending of slavery, it gives the college an opportunity as well to reflect and to pause and to think about, well, what are we doing? Are we measuring up to what we say in our mission about College of the Mainland being a learning community? Think about this, a learning-centered, comprehensive community college dedicated to student success and the intellectual and economic enrichment of the diverse communities we serve, and that we value inclusion and diversity. So today, I ask myself, as I prepared my notes, well, how are we measuring up to these principles? And again, I think I'm reminded of that quote that says, a person's character is measured not so much by what is said, but by his or her actions. And so when I think about the actions of this institution for this community, I want to share a few things that we're doing. And it starts right at the top with the administration and our board in our policies. And we have a hiring policy here at College of the Mainland that addresses diversity. It looks at, in its search and selection process for full-time positions, that we make certain that we have a broad mix of diversity on our campus. And it's interesting, our latest figures show that the college has a higher ratio of African Americans in its employment than the community as a whole. So I think that shows that we're doing a good job. We know we can always do better, but we really have our efforts and our interest in really looking at the diversity and the inclusion of all of our cultures here at the campus. So another thing is funding the Multicultural Committee. Theo just mentioned that he's a part of that team, and the college provides the resources, allows the time for our staff and our members who want to volunteer to serve on these various committees to plan and organize events like today. And it takes a lot of resources to do this. So we're really, I think, one of the superior, really, of my knowing of different colleges across the state, particularly, that we honor our multicultural commitment to our communities and how it serves our college as a whole. And another thing, some of you may know, but we're in our third year of a 5-year federal grant that's called a Hispanic Serving Institution Grant. And what this does, the federal government has given us resources that help us develop greater capacity to serve our develop innovative programs and also expand our services that increase the academic success of all students. So it's not just because it says Hispanic serving, it's not for Hispanic students only, it's all of our students. And one of the way that's benefiting is, I want to recognize, is our Minority Men for Excellence initiative that we have. Again, this is an opportunity. When we looked at the research several years ago, seeing about how our particularly our African American males, were just kind of drying up in college. There weren't as many, that we take this seriously, and so we created our Minority Male Initiative. And from doing so, we have a number of males who are even with us today, and they help us with various events on campus. They're in a leadership program. They're being mentored and guided by our student life staff and an advisor who works with each of those students. So I want to give them recognition and have a few of these young men who are here today stand up. I was told that they left their work to come in, so I wish you'd come in and give them a great applause that they deserve. So y'all stand up, turn around, say hello. Thank you. And as another thing, and Greg Benefield, Greg, would you stand up? I don't know if they could recognize you from the students. He looks like a student himself. Greg is our academic advisor that works with our men. He works with other students as well, but his heart is really trying to mentor our young men on campus and to help them become leaders at the campus and then beyond. So we want to acknowledge Greg and all the work he does. As well, our student life area is something that we're very proud of. We have 3 organizations that are focused on diversity, and those are, at this time, the Organization of African American Culture. It's the oldest student group that was started in the 1970s, and the Hispanic Student Club, and more recently, the Japanese Culture Club. So those are just a few of the clubs that we have on campus. And lastly, you may not know this, but COM funds a College Connection advisor to work in each of our high schools in our area ISDs. We're committed to helping our students know that college is in their future if they so choose, and also to helping them know that it is even if they don't choose. We're helping to help them recognize that, yes, it is, by working with them and their parents. Some of the things that the advisors do is they assist our students in enrolling in the dual credit program. They also recruit graduating seniors to attend College of the Mainland upon high school graduation, and they really help to build a college culture at each of those high schools. So if you have a student, if you want to talk to one of our College Connection advisors, they have a webpage online on our com.edu, and you can ask anyone on campus as well that can connect you with one of our advisors. We have, I think, 5 advisors that are working in this program. So the college is very committed to making certain that we grow in increasing the number of students that attend college after high school. So lastly, I want to recognize and pay special recognition to a group of students that Theo mentioned who are here each summer, but we have a very I would say, ambitious group this year, and I'm really proud to see our Upward Bound students up at the top of the auditorium. They're attending a 6-week college prep program in the summer. They get here like at 7:30 or 8 and stay all day, and they're doing college preparatory work to help them be successful in high school and in college. It's just paid by the federal government, and we're very, very proud of our Upward Bound students. So would you all stand and just be recognized for just a moment? There you go. This is a very limited program. There's only a number of seats. So if you have a student in one of the high schools and you're interested in Upward Bound, let us know. There's also information on our webpage, com.edu. If you just put in Upward Bound, it will give you it'll pop up and give you their page with all of their contact information. So again, I'm not the program. I'm just here to say welcome and really try to give you some idea of what we're doing on this campus, and to let you know that we really are glad you're here. This college is for this community, and we want to do everything we can to help every one of our students succeed. So thank you for asking me to welcome you, and I hope we have a great rest of the day. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Stanfield. And we are going to be moving now into our history of Juneteenth. And that will be followed, our history of Juneteenth, which will be presented by Kavion McCoy, if you would start heading this way. And then also following Kavion will be soloist Desiree Petaway. So get ready, get your socks knocked off. Come on, Kavion.
Greetings, everyone. I am a Upward Bound student, and my name is Kavion McCoy, as was mentioned. So I will be telling y'all the history of Juneteenth. I hope y'all are excited. You know what I'm saying? That's what Juneteenth is the oldest known celebration commemorating the ending of slavery in the United States. Dating back to 1865, it was on June 19th that the Union soldiers, led by Major General Gordon Granger, landed at Galveston, Texas, with news that the war had ended and that the enslaved were now free. One of General Granger's first orders of business was to read to the people of Texas General Order Number 3, which began most significantly with, "The people of Texas are informed that, in accordance with a proclamation from the Executive of the United States, all slaves are free. This involves an absolute equality of personal rights and rights of property between former masters and slaves, and the connection heretofore existing between them becomes that between employer and the connection hired labor. The freedmen are advised to remain quietly at their present homes and work for wages. They are informed that they will not be allowed to collect at military posts, and and that they will not be supported in idleness, either there or somewhere else. Note that this was 2.5 years after President Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation, which had become official January 1st, 1863. Through the tireless efforts of those at the grassroots level to those on the state and national levels, Juneteenth celebrations are held in most of the 50 states, although Juneteenth has been informally celebrated each year since 1865. It wasn't until June 3rd, 1979, that Texas became the first state to proclaim Emancipation Day, Juneteenth, an official state holiday. But it is much more than a holiday. Juneteenth has become a day for African Americans to celebrate their freedom, culture, and achievements. It is a day for all African Americans to celebrate, it is a day for all Americans to celebrate African American history and rejoice in their freedom. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Desiree. I'm a member of the Upward Bound program as well. I will be singing our national anthem, Lift Every Voice and Sing. Lift every voice and sing, till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the roaring sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won.
Outstanding, outstanding. You see the talent that we have in our room with our youth, and we are excited about our future because of them. Let's give them another round of applause for Kavion and Desiree. Next up, we'll have a poetic expression, Still I Rise, by our former comm student, Desharonda Lynch. Please welcome Desharonda.
You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may try me in the very dirt, but still, like dust, I'll rise. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? 'Cause I walk like I've got oil wells pumping in my living room. Just like the moons and like the suns, with the certainty of the tides, just like the hope springing high, still, I rise. Did you want to see me broken? Bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries. Does my haughtiness offend you? Don't you take it off a hard, 'cause I laugh like I've got gold mines digging in my own backyard. You may shoot me with your words, you may cut me with your eyes, you may kill me with your hatefulness, but still, like air, I'll rise. Or does my sexiness upset you? Does it come to a surprise that I dance like I've got diamonds at the meetings of my thighs? Out of the huts of history shame, I rise up from a past rooted in pain. I rise. I am the black ocean leaping and wide, welling and swelling. I bear in the tide, leaving behind nights filled with terror and fear. I rise into a daybreak that's wondrously clear. I rise, bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave. I am the hope and the dream of the slave. I rise, I rise, I rise.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And with that same spirit, we move into our introduction of our speaker. I told you all we were going to keep this program going, and we were going to have a power-packed program. So please welcome Ms. Tilly Hempson, and she will introduce our guest speaker for today.
Thank you, Theo, and good afternoon to everyone. The poet you just saw was my granddaughter. She loves Maya Angelou, and we're paying tribute to Maya today. Maya is such an inspirational poet that I think everyone loves her. Now, this is a task that I'm going to try to do to introduce Miss Shayla. Shayla's gonna have to tell you her last name. I told Shayla, I said, Shayla, I will mess it up. I will mess it up. But I first knew Shayla. We connected at the student luncheon. She's the recipient of my mother's memorial scholarship that we give out every year to make sure that some student, any student, can come to College of the Mainland if they so desire. So we will ask any of you who would like to donate to the College of the Mainland Scholarship Fund. It's open to anyone to help educate our youth. And so we connected that way, and she gave me all of this to read about her. I say, Shayla, I am not going to tell your story. You are going to tell your story because she has an interesting story of how she has risen in so many different ways from where she started. So, Miss Shayla, when you come up here, please tell them your full name. And you're going to hear a mighty powerful story of her journey. Miss Shayla.
How's everybody doing this afternoon? You know, I'm a little tall, so these things never really work out for me when they have the microphone down here. So I do have a portable. Hello, can you hear me? Okay, so the portable works a little better for me. But first, I would just like to start off by saying, let's go back a little bit. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers that we have in the room here on today. Happy Father's Day to you. You are so important to us. Not just in your families, but in this world, in today's society. I also want to thank Dr. Stanfield, Ms. Tilly Henson, Theo Moody, the administration, the staff here at the College of the Mainland, all of the students who actually took your time and came out here today. When Ms. Tilly asked me to speak, well, actually, let me go back again. My name is Shayla A. Gordon Agbali Bazoo. I knew that would be a tough one. My husband is Nigerian, and when we first got married, I actually kept my maiden name for almost a year, and then when I was about to have my son, I said, I think I'm going to change my name. And he said, no, you don't have to. I said, no, I'm going to do it. And I went to the Social Security office, and the lady said, are you sure? And I looked at her like, what do you mean? Yes, I'm sure. And so she said, okay, could you, just write all the information down? And then I had to go to my husband's Facebook page to actually figure out how to spell the last name. And she was looking at me like, that's what I thought. And so, so that is my name. But just to go back to when Miss Henson actually asked me to speak, I was just like, I was a little overwhelmed. I was excited. I was filled with so many emotions because this was something that was actually a dream of mine for like the past 15 years. And the reason why I said it was a dream of mine, from the time I was like 14 years old, I started going to different conferences and things, and I was like, wow, I want to be like that person. I want to be like this person. I want to be able to share my story with the world. But I didn't know of a platform that I could start or what will help me get there. And of course, we got social media, but it's so different. And so to have an organization or a company or a school that will actually support you and that will allow you to do that, I am so forever grateful. So Still I Rise. I love acronyms. And what I actually took from Still I Rise, first I actually Googled what rise actually means, because everybody kind of has their own definition. But what I got from Google, rise actually means to move from a lower position to a higher one. Come or go up. Get up from lying, sitting, or kneeling. And so that was so funny when I read that, because that was my entire life, my whole situation. So just to give you a little history about me, I'm originally from Jacksonville, Florida, born and raised. I actually attended Bethune-Cookman University, graduated with a 4-year degree in psychology. So in my mind, I had did all of the things that I was supposed to do. I graduated from kindergarten, went on to finish elementary school, middle school, high school, graduating senior class president, and then going off to college. And so I had the impression that I was doing all of the right things, even though I had some stumbles along the way, but I was going to get to where that place was I desired. And life just did not happen for me that way. After graduating from college, I actually moved to Houston, Texas. And they say everything is bigger in Texas. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to be bigger in Texas. I'm about to become a celebrity, and I'm going to do all this. And then none of that happened for me, none of it. I actually got my first job. I was teaching kindergarten, and I thought it was going to be something that lasted forever. It actually lasted for about 2 weeks. And so I went into sales, got my start in sales, and I was that girl that didn't know anything. I was what you call ignorance on fire, loud, proud, and wrong. But once I learned the industry, I had a lot of success. You've heard the saying, keeping up with the Joneses. I was trying to keep up with the Kardashians. And so I was making a lot of money, but I was losing all of my money. No one taught me about budgeting and how to save and how to pay your bills on time. And so I went through a period of phase where I was getting paid every week, and by Monday, I had no money. I ended up losing everything, living out of my car. I'm an educated black woman. I think I'm a little cute, but I was homeless, living out of my car. So I went through that whole phase that we all do when we get down and out, crying to the Lord, praying, why me, God, why? And it was just, I had caused all these things on myself. And so I was able to get in a position where things kind of started to work out a little bit for me. And I started to really just focus on, what do I want to do with my life? I'm in Texas. I don't want to go back to Florida. What is it that I want to do with my life? And so I decided to go into law enforcement. I thought I wanted to be a cop, but then I was scared about carrying a gun, so I just went into corrections. I didn't know they still made you carry a gun, but in that meantime, that's when I met an incredible man. I met my husband, and we ended up getting married. And things were okay for a while, but then all over again. They say when it rains, it pours. So here we are expecting our first child, and the struggle is now starting to begin again. We made it through that little rainstorm, and 5 months after my son was born, I found out I was pregnant again. And so I was like, oh, Lord, that's what y'all Africans do? Have us barefoot and pregnant? That's how I felt. No offense to any Africans in the room. That's how I felt. But no, and things just really started to get a little rough, a little challenging. And so went through the whole cycle, the emotions of praying, crying, trying to figure out why is this happening. We're great people, and we did all the right things, what is actually going on. And so my daughter was born, and got in a situation to where things kind of came back together. My husband and I were both working. But even with working and just life and expenses and having children, a part of having children comes daycare. Boy, do we love daycare. But at the time for me, I don't want to say it was a blessing and a curse, but it was something that was helping us with us not having any family here, but the financial part of it was kind of tough. And so I don't know how many people are familiar with the NCI program, but it was a program that assists you with funding for daycare for children if you're working or in school and things of that nature. So at the time, I wasn't in school, but my husband had decided to go back to school. And so my kids had been on a waiting list for months and months. This is $1,100 a month that we're pushing out every month trying to afford for daycare. And I kept calling NCI. When I wanted to give up, something just said one more time. That small, still voice sometimes that you hear? It was just like one more time. And so I finally did, and I talked to the right person, and she asked me, "Are you in school?" And I said, "No." And she said, "Well, if you went to school, it doesn't matter the program that you take. You could bypass the waiting list and actually get funding for your kids." What? Well, I've always been into the beauty industry, love fashion, love hair, nails, everything beauty. So why not cosmetology? Well, guess what? COM was literally 6.3 minutes away from my house. And, I went online and I found out when classes were starting again, and I enrolled. After 2 weeks of being in the program, the blessing came. We were able to get funding for the kids. So what was once now a big burden became a major blessing for us. I say all that to say because going back earlier to when I mentioned the dream I had since I was about 14, 15 years old doing this right now. With so much that had happened in my life, I gave up on myself. I started to feel like, what a waste. I'm not doing any of the things I want to do. I'm perpetrating on Facebook and Instagram like I'm living this great life, and I'm falling apart. And I just don't know what else to do. And, I want to tell you something. God is so amazing because delay does not mean denial. Sometimes some things in your life are delayed because it's not the right time, it's not the right season. He has some more things to take you through so you could come to and be that voice for someone else. It's so amazing because when I think about Still I Rise, I'm like, in order to rise, that means you have to be down. You would have had to have been down to get up and rise. Maya Angelou said, "Stand up straight, realize who you are, and tower over your circumstances." But you have had to be down to actually rise, to stand up straight, to tower over your circumstances. We talk about today being an independence for African Americans and a national holiday for all Americans here in Texas. But I want you guys to understand what freedom really is. Because, we are all free. We're walking around freely. We're free to live our lives. But so many of us are still bound in our minds and bound in our hearts. I have 5 points that I want to leave you with today, and these are my 5 P's, because I can honestly tell you where I am here today is because of these P's. That first P will be pray. I'm not here to push my religion on anybody in this room. I don't know what you believe. I respect you as a person, but Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior, and I love him with everything inside of me. I ain't got time to worry. I don't worry about nothing, but I pray about every single thing that's going on in my life. Even the little ratchet part that's still in me. I pray about that too. I pray about that. Why? Because the Bible tells us to pray without ceasing. My second P would be praise. I give him praise for every single thing that he's done, the good, the bad, the ugly, the right. I give him praise because he's so worthy. But I also want to take this praise to each and every one of you. You know, we have students sitting in the room today. We have faculty sitting in the room today. We have community church members in the room today. Sometimes when you're in school or you're at work or you're at church or you're in the community, you may not know that person or you may know that person. Sometimes it's good to praise that person. You can see them coming to school every day, coming to work every day, at church every Sunday, and they look flustered, but they're always showing up. Sometimes they just need to hear, you know, you're doing a great job. I don't know what's going on in your life, but you just keep going. You're doing really, really good. Edification is so powerful. You just don't know how much that could do to somebody, because it did a lot for me. I needed to hear, you're a great mom. You're a great wife. I know you're tired, but it's going to be okay. You're a great student. You know, you're a great advisor. You really care about your students. You're a great usher. You're a great choir member. You know, people need to hear that. And then my next P would be prepare. You know exactly what it is that you want to do in your life. Prepare for it. Because when preparation and opportunity meets, success is bound to happen. But you can't a lot of times get those opportunities if you're not prepared. Back then when I thought I wanted to be a speaker, I had nothing to talk about. I wasn't prepared. And that's why it never happened. But now it's like I'm getting so many opportunities, and God, I just say thank you. My next P would be power. Power. I don't know if you realize it, but we have the power to do any and everything we want to do in this world. We have been equipped with so many gifts and talents. Just let them unleash. Believe in yourself. Trust yourself. You have the power to do it. Deuteronomy 8:18 is one of my favorite scriptures because, to be honest with you, we all do what we do to earn income, to earn some type of money. Well, with Deuteronomy 8:18, it actually says God has given us the power to achieve wealth so that he can keep the covenant that he's made with our forefathers. So you got to use your power that he's already given you so he could keep his covenant. He's already given it till you use it. And then my last P would be believe that it is possible. He said, if we do the possible, he'll do the impossible. He is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all we could ask, think, or imagine. The things that we think are too hard for us is so possible with him. The things that are hard to us is possible with him. The things that we hear about people winning $360 million. Oh, that's a lot of money. It is. I want some of it. But he owns all the banks, all of the money in the world. He owns everything. So that RISE acronym, I love to break words down. To me, RISE actually means reaching inside self every day. When you get up in the morning, sometimes you're so tired, you don't want to go to school, you don't want to go to work. Some Sundays you don't feel like going to church. You don't feel like going to events. But you got to reach inside yourself and find that piece of strength that's going to make you keep going. Students, it gets hard. Testing comes up. I mean, I commend the students that are here on today because other students are probably out enjoying their summer or just feeling like being lazy. I've worked all year round. I got straight A's or straight B's, or I seed my way through school. I don't want to be here. I don't want to go to school during the summer, but y'all are here. You know, keep reaching. Keep desiring. Same for faculty. It gets hard sometimes. You don't feel like going to work. I need a vacation. Keep going. Same for the community, for everything y'all do for us. We thank you. You know, I want to say thank you again. But most importantly, I want y'all to know that whatever it is, some people may take something that from what I said today. Some people probably didn't listen, I don't know. But just remember this. You know, God is so faithful. He is awesome. He is amazing. And, you know, I will feel like I am not necessarily robbing him, but what I want everybody to do right now is just close your eyes. Sit back for a minute, close your eyes. I won't be before you long. But I want you to sit back, close your eyes, resonate on the words that I've said. Think about today, your future, and everything that's going on. And just thank him in your heart. Because he's so good. Great is thy faithfulness, O Lord, my Father. There is no shadow of turning with thee. Thou changest not, thy compassion, they fail not. To thy great faithfulness, Lord, unto me, summer and winter and springtime and harvest, sun, moon, and stars and their sources above, join with the nature and manifold witness to thy great faithfulness, mercy, and love. Great is thy faithfulness. Great is thy faithfulness. Morning by morning, new mercies I've seen. All I have needed, thine hand has provided. To thy great faithfulness, Lord, unto me. Thank y'all.
I know where I stop by on Sunday mornings after a beautiful message like that, you have to say, and let the church say amen. Right? Shayla, we are so thankful, first of all, from one HBCU grad to another. We thank you for your presence today. We thank you for allowing us to hear about your test. And so that thank you for being transparent about your test. Transparent about your test so that we can all learn and know about and hear your testimony. So we are forever thankful. Ms. Tilly, would you come, please? Shayla, would you come? We just have to always acknowledge our speakers. What a wonderful, quick program we had today. But, of course, we have to always make sure we have our special presentations and acknowledgments. So Ms. Tilly Henson will come forward with that.
Hello again. I will be very brief, but I tried very hard to get this person to sit on the front row so that they would not have to be coming down the steps. This person is very, very special to this particular program and to all of the multicultural events that we have had on this campus for the past, I would say, 15, 20 years. Alex Pratt was one of the first persons he's shocked now. He was one of the first persons to help us get this Juneteenth program together. And I think that he's very, very deserving of us paying a tribute to him today. Yes. He has not only worked very diligently with the multicultural team, but for this college as a whole. Alex, would you come forward, please? So I tried to get him to sit on that front row. It's deserving of.
Well, I didn't sit on the front row. There was a reason for that. I had one of my students from way back in the early 60s sitting in the audience, and she has done quite well, and I heard that she's now become a faculty member at College of England, Catherine Kay.
Alex, we would like to present this certificate of appreciation to you. This is hereby presented to Professor Emeritus Alex Pratt.
Wow.
By the COM Multicultural Committee for your many years of dedicated service and outstanding support for cultural education here at College of the Mainland. Presented on this 19th day of June 2018. Amanda's signed together.
Thank you very much. I appreciate this, but we don't know people like Tilly, or I call her Tilly Mae.
So a lot of people didn't know May was my middle name.
And the first Juneteenth program on this campus was being co-chaired by Tilly. And she has been a part of that ever since the beginning. And that's, you're talking about 1971, 1972 as the first program. So again, it's a Juneteenth today, and it's happy birthday Juneteenth, happy birthday Texas. And the guy who signed that bill was in Galveston this morning. So Al Edwards was here. One day we could probably get him to come back to this campus. He was here at one time. But again, with Tilly, well, thank you very much.